Welcome back to episode 7 of Lacuna. This will probably be a quick one as well. I'm trying to make up for time. But we are trying to get our kid. It looks like our terrorist has kidnapped our kiddo. And so we are going to betray our government to rescue our kid, as it should be. Who is this? Dad? Laura, where are you? Why didn't you let them use the login they wanted? Please, Dad, they're going to hurt me if you don't listen to them. You need to get me out of here. They swear they'll let me go if you do what they ask. I know how important your job is to you, Laura. But how bad can the thing be that they're asking you? Please, I don't want to finish my novel. I don't want to finish it, Laura. Listen to me. I'll get you out of there, okay? Stay calm and do what they say. I have this under control. We'll see each other soon. I need to go. Okay. Whoops. Anything new? Less than 24 hours after Benny's death, an organization called Self-Liberators has claimed responsibility for the attack. It was a scene right out of the movie, with screens all over the Capitol playing their radical message. If you weren't there, this is what they said. Hello, fellow citizens. We are liberators, defenders of progress, freedom, and reason. These values have been integral to our society for centuries, but lately they have increasingly come under threat. Religious radicals calling themselves the Savient Front are aiming to establish a theocratic government in Androvia. Savient faith is based on superstition and rejects everyone under its thumb. We all saw 4 decades ago today what happened when a Savient state is left to its own devices. We can't let history repeat itself. We demand President Robertson end his madness now, put a stop to all independence talks, and reinstate full Gagarin rule. We'd remove the radical Savient Joseph Banny to get it started. If you do not start implementing measures to meet our demands, more Savient lives will be spent to protect the future of us all. Savient population on Gara will be taken hostage until the Garian population on Drovia is guaranteed its freedom. We must step up for them in our government if our government won't. Await our next move within 48 hours if we won't be as silent as the first. So far, authorities have not confirmed that the people sending this message were in fact involved in foreign minister Banny's death, or what the chilling announcement at the end may pertain to. Morning, Conrad. You look pale. Are you sick? No, I'm fine. Hope you got some rest after yesterday's incident. Let me bring you up to speed. Chief said he's making some announcements this morning. Didn't sound good at all, but we'll see in a few minutes. We took Cox in for questioning. You can interrogate him later. But first, you should talk to Sato. He's in our office and has some new intel on Moore and Cox for you. Okay, I'm on it. Listen, Conrad, I might have been a little intense these past few days. These are special circumstances. You understand that, right? Sure, it's been hard for us all. I gotta run. Talk to you later. Okay, so can't go there yet. Good morning, Neil. Hey, Sato. Gary told me you had some news and new intel for me. Indeed. But everyone on your pin board over there, let me give you a quick overview. First, I assembled some basic information on James Moore and his wife. Second, I managed to pull the recent bank statements. Maybe you'll find something useful in there. That's all I could get my hands on for now, but I got more coming tomorrow. And third, I took a look at the CVs of the guy who fired at you, Albert Cox. Guess what I found? He's a Savient, and he grew up on Drovia. Oh, that's a surprise. I suspected he was working with liberators. Well, who knows? He still might. What's also interesting is that he changed his name 20 years ago. Shoot, we're running late to that meeting with Chief. Let's go. I'll tell you the rest on the way. Cox was born on Albert Bolton. His parents owned a big company at the time, Bolton Security Services. They were responsible for the safety of the Soviet colony Androvia. You mean Sector 2, the one who blew up 40 years ago? Exactly. Bolton Security was sued into oblivion over the incident and eventually went bankrupt. When Cox had finished school, he changed his name and moved to Gara. That's when he founded his own security company with some grant money. Thank you, Sato. Great work, as always. Oh, it's nothing. I just did some advanced browsing. Before we go in, I need to ask. Is everything all right? You look not great. Just didn't get enough sleep lately. Thanks for asking. I think everybody's here. Let's start. Thank you all for coming. As many of you know, I've been working for the CDI for 28 years now. I've done everything in my power to defend the values our planet stands for. The principles of freedom, tolerance, equal rights for everyone, and justice have been guiding all of my actions. I have always been proud of our work and our commitment to the Garan democracy. Sadly, the path of justice isn't always clear, and we have to make difficult decisions. The murder of Joseph Banny has severely harmed the relationship between our planet and Androvia. It puts the fragile peace in our solar system at risk. The Domestic Terrorism Division was charged with protecting Banny under my leadership. In light of our failure to do so, the Attorney General and I have agreed that the only appropriate response is for me to resign from my duties at the CDI effective immediately. I hope that the separatist groups Androvia will consider this a sign of sincere remorse and of our intention to make up for the damage that has been done. I enjoyed working with you all, and I wish you nothing but the best. I hope that each of you will find your way to fighting for justice. I will still be in my office today if there are any open questions or issues you want to talk to me about. My successor will be announced by the Attorney General in the near future. Starting tomorrow, Agent Long will be taking over my responsibilities until a permanent replacement is found. Thank you and goodbye. Hello, Conrad. How can I help you? I wanted to say goodbye. It was good working for you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I have to admit, I'm surprised by your decision. It's not like you could have done much more to protect Banny. Come on, Conrad. We both know that doesn't matter. Heads need to roll for this. Chief. Why did we arrest Cox? I mean, it looks like it was the right call, but we didn't know at the time. And why didn't you give us the arrest order yourself? The AG didn't tell me why she wanted to do it, so I refused to give the order. So you don't know either. No, it seems like it's classified, same as the information on that stick. I see. Chief? The AG fired you over something else, didn't she? I overheard your conversation yesterday. Why are you telling me this? It doesn't sound like you were arguing about Banny's death. You are aware that you can be suspended for eavesdropping on your superiors. In fact, it seemed like you were suspecting the AG of something. Is that the real reason why she wanted you to get rid of you? This one is out of your league. Just respect the chain of command. I see. I'll have to pack up my things now. I wish you all the best for your career at the CDI. Thank you. Your cell contacts haven't changed lately, have they? Haven't changed in years. Good. All right. Gary, well, that was unexpected. Frick, I can't believe I'm standing in for the chief. I never thought they'd pick me. I have to call my wife. Guess I'll be doing some overtime in the next few days. Don't you think it's strange that the AG fired him? Got to admit, she never really liked him. Maybe she was waiting for an opportunity. Someone had to get fired for Banny's death just for the optics, don't you think? Maybe, but the chief always did an excellent job. It didn't have to be him. I'm not thrilled about it either, but we should focus on the Liberator's threat. I want to start my new job with a string of terror attacks. Let's recap what we've got so far. Listen up, Scott. Time for a little wrap-up. Suppose you're all surprised that I'm about our chief's sudden retirement. However, we need to focus on the Liberators and their plans now. Let's go over everything we've got so far once more. Drovia's foreign minister Banny was shot last night by a sniper who goes by the name of Boyd. Boyd then went to see a woman called Zora, which seems to have been a deviation from their original plan. He convinced her to hand him a stick with confidential stolen data. Next morning, Boyd met another man to hand him that data. Abraham Gonzalez, CEO of the Drovian company, power-ups. We were able to extract a deleted message from Gonzalez's cell, which proves that someone paid him to fetch the stick and send the data to an unknown address once he was outside the Garian network. This leads us to believe that the data cannot be sent unnoticed via the web, which applies only to the best-kept secrets of the Garian government. We don't know who paid either of them, but the message of Gonzalez was sent via an encrypted channel on the Mercurius network. That meant that it must be one of the higher-ups of a large publicly traded company. We don't know what was the data stick because we haven't been cleared for access yet. Yesterday morning, the anti-Sabian terror group calling themselves the Liberators publicly broadcast a video in which they claimed responsibility for Banny's murder. Why do we have to recap this? They also announced a second attack within 48 hours. Their broadcast was sent from the Ad Spot building. They operate all the billboards across the city. At the time of the video started, the building was being guarded by a Cox security employee. Reason to believe that the perpetrator was another employee of that same company, James Moore. His wife says that he went on a holiday at Minami Tree Resort, but he never turned up there. We are currently running a planet-wide search for him, but without success so far. The CEO of Cox Security, Albert Cox, opened fire on Agent Conrad and myself when we went to arrest him. Why were you arresting Cox? It was an order from the Attorney General. Conrad convinced Cox to surrender. We arrested him and brought him in for questioning. He had been in the process of destroying hard drives before we arrived. Our IT department is currently trying to restore what's left of the data. Do we think the Cox is a key figure behind the Liberators? He certainly is involved with them in some way, but he doesn't have access to the Mercurius network. We have to assume that there's some bigger fish behind Cox. What also is strange is that he is a Sabian himself. He grew up in Androvia. Our current priority is to prevent any further attacks. Colroy, I want you to support the ongoing manhunt for James Moore. You and we brought some stuff back from Cox's office. Work your magic on it. Let us know if you find something. Sato, you keep gathering as much information as you can. Our prime suspect. Conrad, you should check whether you can establish a motive why Moore would support the Liberators. Take a look at all the evidence we've got, including the information Sato put on your pin-pet board. You should also have a chat with Cox. We brought him to the interrogation room in the basement. Roger that. We also brought up our sniper in for a second round of questioning. Should give it another try and see if you can get something out of him. Gonzalez surrounded himself with lawyers. Could be a while until we can interrogate him. That's all for now. Come back to me when you have something. Ugh. Getting tired of the reading. All right, James Moore. Okay, married Emma Moore. Famous sector, Gara. Junior security professional for Bell Security Agency, senior security professional for Cox Security, criminal record, fine for bodily harm, fine for attempting theft, 6 months for trades for illegal substance cyber plans, resisting against mind-altering drugs, extended field of view, shortened reaction time, increasing hand-eye coordination. Okay. Evelyn Moore, mind pressure for Bilex mining, complex hope of famous. Fine for petty larceny. Okay. All right. So those bills might be relevant, but who? So these are bills, bank statements. Oh, maybe these are Moore's bills. So this is Cox Security is what he gets paid. Well, why is he getting... Looks like he got maybe a substantial amount of money from Cox. A long time no see. Still not talkative type, huh? Okay, listen up. Things have changed since we last spoke. I turned off the camera so we can talk freely. Your people have kidnapped my daughter to extort me. Last night, your friend Zora came to my home to talk to me, but don't get your hopes up. It's about money, not your freedom. She gave me a message for you. What message? I'll tell you if you help me with Laura. If you're bullcrapping me, I'm not. What exactly do you want me to do? Looks like I'm pretty much locked up in here. Who are those guys you and Zora are working for? We both know I can't give you any details. We're mercenaries. That's all I can say. Where do they keep Laura? I have no clue. We have a bunch of hideouts in the city and the whole solar system. I don't even know all of them. In the whole, that's a pretty huge organization you're part of. We're not just some thugs, we're professionals. You want me to help you, I'll give you one piece of advice. Do what they tell you. If I do, will I get her back? We usually keep our end of the bargain. Why are they blackmailing you? People who asked you to shoot Banny won't pay them because we prevented the handover. Now they want me to help them get the data back. I see. You said you had a message for me? The moon rises in the south. Fat guy I met at Joris Plaza, he was pretty sure he got his assignment from someone in the Telenium business. You mean Gonzalez, the man you brought the storage module? If that's his name. Maybe that'll help you somehow. Thank you for letting me know. Could you tell Zora that the sun sleeps in the north? Okay, I'll tell her. Good luck with your daughter. Okay. Do I have... sheets, Moore's motive. The data's about... okay. Liberators, I still don't have that solved either. Emails, new apartment, dear Connor. We have found 204 new offers fitting your search criteria and only new clicks you can make. All right. I'm glad I'm getting spam here too. Okay, logs. No clues. Okay. Do I have all the clues? I don't know where else I'd have clues at. I looked at those. Nothing there. All right, well, we'll try talking to Cox. Hope we have all the information we need. Good afternoon, Mr. Cox. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I'm waiting for my legal team. You fired at my partner and me. Care to explain? Probably don't need to tell you that you didn't make the best first impression on us. Your behavior and your company's involvement in yesterday's broadcast make it look like you're somehow involved with the Liberators. Quick look at your biography showed that you are a Sabian. A Sabian. You grew up on Drovia. It doesn't make sense that you'd support an anti-Sabian terror group. 25 years ago, you moved to Gara. Gara, why? Sometimes life forces us to do things we don't want to. You don't like it here. I don't. Why not? Why don't you ask that yourself and your fellow Garians? You consider Drovians your enemy and Sabians backwards radicals. If you have the choice between hiring a Garian or a Drovian, you hire the Garian. All the missions we ever get come from Drovia. Why haven't you gone back then? Because my compatriots are happy to have a reliable partner for their companies here on Gera. We escort their goods, offer them personal security, you name it. Your partners had a security company as well, didn't they? Or your parents? Responsible for security at Sector 2, Sector X. Looks like they didn't do such a good job with Sector 2 blowing up and all. You know nothing about my parents. I've already said enough. I'll wait for my lawyers now. All right. That wasn't that useful. All right, let's look at our sheets. Okay, Moore's motive. His national issue, his sick wife, his drug addiction, his sick wife, clearly. All right, let's see. Can we get sheets? The data. Okay. Conrad, I just read your sheet on Moore. Looks like a motive can be established. You should pay his wife another visit. She didn't seem to know anything yesterday. Maybe she'll tell you more if you confront her with her husband's motive. Roger that. See you there.
Once again enveloped by the smell of the market, I thought back to the man I had been when Kat had brought me here. How did it all go so wrong? Deep down, I knew the answer. I was just too scared to commit to my family. It was so much easier to care about something that didn't have to like you back. That wouldn't go away if you didn't want it to. For me, that was my job. But ironically, protecting myself like that only made it hurt so much worse. Now that Laura was out of my reach, the pain of being separated was only amplified by the knowledge that I had missed so many opportunities to be with her.
Oh, Miss Moore. Oh, it's you again. Hello. Sorry to disturb you a second time, but I need to ask you a few more questions. So you're still after my husband? I told you he's on a vacation on Famous. He isn't. We checked the ID scanners at all spaceports on Gera and Famous. He never left the planet. You must have overlooked something. Listen, I love James, but he's got just a poor devil. Shouldn't the CI be taking care of the big fish? James isn't one of them. I think you're underestimating your husband. He might be about to make a brave mistake. Do you see the Liberators video yesterday? It was hard to miss, yeah. We have reason to believe that your husband is affiliated with them. Seriously? That's what you came up with? He might have sold drugs or started a fight once or twice, but he's completely out of his league. We did some research, and it seems like your husband has a strong motive. Your husband is being paid for the attack, and he needs the money for your medication. It's true that I suffer from a lung condition, but we've always managed. If he carries out his attack and we catch him, he goes to prison for life. If we get him before the sentence will be significantly less severe. Did you also find out how I got my condition? I was a miner at Milex mining on Femus. Turned out that I was inhaling harmful gases for months every day. The bosses knew about it, but the money was too good. Hundreds of people's lungs were irreversibly damaged, and you know what? Milex got away with it. They were cleared of all charges. No compensation at all. We have to pay for our medicines ourselves. Why are you going after my husband and not after people like them? I'm really sorry that happened to you, but there's nothing I can do about it right now. What we can do is stop your husband from doing something really stupid. We have reason to believe that he is involved in an imminent terror attack. If there's anything you didn't tell me, I need to know right now. What happens if you're right and you catch him? He'd probably go to prison for a few years, but it would be much worse if we caught him after the fact. I saw a message in his cell before he left. It was a booking confirmation from a hotel, but it wasn't on Femus. It was the Corione Hotel here in Gara. I thought he might be cheating on me. He booked it until tomorrow. Thank you, Miss Moore. We've been very helpful. Promise me he won't get hurt. He's an idiot, but he's a good guy. Please, I need him. I promise I'll do my best to protect him. Listen, I'm pregnant. If he's about to do something stupid, remind him of our unborn son. That'll make him consider his decision. I will. Thank you for your help. Oh, man, that'd be tough.
The Corian Hotel. I didn't even need to look that up. It was directly next to the Grand Church at Corian Square, one of the most important houses of prayer for Sabians here on Gara. It probably would be crowded with believers and tourists tomorrow morning. No doubt it was the Liberator's next target. The rush of making progress in the case only lasted a few moments, until I realized that now I had to make a tough decision. If I told Zora about the target, I couldn't tell the CDI, and vice versa.
Hey, frick, you startled me. What do you want? Check in with you with your investigation, how your investigation is going. But not here, too crowded. Follow me. Come on. Come on, I know a spot. Where'd she go? I think it blends in with everything. Go down? Okay. This is better. The hell are you doing here? Are you following me? I told you I'd get back to you. Anything new on our client or what they're planning to do next? I might know where the next attack is taking place. Good, where is it? I can't just tell you that. Well, and I can't protect your daughter if you won't work with us. You need to tell us where and when the attack is taking place. We'd like to have a chat with the people carrying it out. But there can't be any CDI at the scene. Are you saying your people will prevent the attack? We'll take with us the people who are trying to carry it out. People's lives are at stake here. The CDI needs to intercept that attack. Laura's life is certainly at stake. What are you planning on doing with the attackers? What will happen to them? We will ask them who they're working for. You just ask them and let them go. Don't worry about what we do. We don't want to let them go through with their plans. I don't know. I suspect there will be an attack at the Grand Church at Corian Square tomorrow morning. Is that the truth? It's what I think is the truth. Good, thank you. Remember not to tell anyone at the CDI. I did what you asked. Are you letting Laura go now? Not yet. Let's wait and see how things play out tomorrow. You want a beer? Sure. A beer? Yeah, business talk is over. Are you calling destroying my life a business? I guess so. Hey, listen. Did you deliver my message? I did. What did he say? He said the sun sleeps in the north. Okay, thank you. What does it mean? Is it code for something? No, it's from when we were kids. I've known him for a long time. I thought about what you said. I don't think I'm good, or ever have been, but I will say this. I talked to your daughter today. She's a good kid. I do not like the prospect of her getting hurt. So please don't mess up. How can you? Then get her out of there, please. Will you? My boss won't let that happen. It's all under your hands. If all goes well tomorrow and the guys talk, we might get everything we need. We can't get out the client. If we can't get to the client that way, we'll have to get to that data after all. In that case, you'll have to help us with the hack. The back door was set up successfully from your cell. Let's hope we won't have to use it. I have to admit, that was pretty ballsy of you to protect your partner like that. You could even call it selfless. I don't think there's such a thing. No matter what you tell yourself at the end of the day, you do what you do for your own gain. Sometimes it's a few layers removed, but in the end, it's all selfishness with extra steps. I disagree. It's just a convenient way to justify the fricked up things you do. Nihilism can be used as a shield, just like faith. It's convenient to say nothing matters because it makes being in this world hurt a little less. But even you don't like the thought of harming Laura, do you? I think you're doing your best to ignore your conscience. You'll have to face it at some point. Not if I die first. Well, this has been fun. Break is over. I have some business to take care of. I'll let you know tomorrow how it went. Hello, said the guy from the harbor. Wanted to thank you again for buying me my spot back. Had a beer in the herring tonight with my friends Fred and Quinn. Buy you one too if you're ever at the harbor, Ed. Conrad, how did it go? Any news from Moore's wife? No, not really. If Moore's behind all this, then she doesn't know about it. Frick, the tech's going down tomorrow morning, and we still have no clue where it's going to be. How is it possible that we don't get a grip on these frickers? Looks like the only thing we can do is ramp up security all over Gara and hope that they won't get through with their attack. Go home and get some sleep. Talk to you later.
I felt like shit for letting Zora and her accomplices intercept the attack. There were so many ways this could go wrong. I didn't want them to take more, or worse yet, somehow miss him and let the attack happen. Don't get me wrong, I didn't regret telling Zora what I knew to protect Laura, but endangering the lives of innocent people wasn't an acceptable trade-off. I couldn't tell the CDI, or even call in an anonymous tip with the police, because the chance was too high that Zora would suspect me. There was no other way. If I wanted to make sure things didn't go south, I had to go to the church myself. I left in the middle of the night, hoping it wasn't already too late.
Good evening, sir. Is the place open? Evening. I'm sorry, but the temple is closed until 6 in the morning. Could you let me in for just a second? It'd be very important to me. I won't touch anything. Sorry, but what is this about? We had to increase security ever since that video came out. These are scary times for us Savians. Someone sprayed Frick Savians on the temple walls last night. Listen, this is really urgent. I can't tell you any specifics, but I have to get in there. Sorry, but I need to ask you to leave or I'll have to call the cops. Mr. Moore, this is the CDI. Hands up in the air right now. Step away from the device. Frick. Oh, no, 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 no. They're here. Listen carefully. They'll shoot you if you don't cooperate, okay? What the frick are you on about? What's going on here? Mr. Moore, I'm CDI. You have to trust me. Tell them whatever I didn't do anything, okay? I'm just following orders from my boss. Tell them that. Tell who? The people walking upstairs right now. Tell them the truth if you want to live. If we're lucky, they won't take you away. Neil, what the hell are you doing here? Don't shoot. Stand down, all of you. Shoot. Did you just shoot that guard? Who the frick is that, Zora? That's our mole. Ignore him. Go get the other guy and make sure we don't blow up. Mr. Moore, you're coming with us. Neil, what is this about? I hope this isn't some kind of trap, because if it is, Laura's dead. Who are you? Leave me alone. It's not a trap. I'm here alone. Where are you taking him? It's none of your business. We had a deal. All right. All right, take him. No, please, leave me alone. I didn't do anything. We got him. Let's go. Sorry, Neil. We have to make sure you won't follow us.
When I came to, my head and my shoulder hurt, and I was cold. I remember feeling relief when I realized I was still in the church and not tied up in the back of a van. Everybody else was gone without a trace, except for the bomb. I approached it carefully, but quickly realized it was disabled, or had never been fully assembled in the first place. I knelt down to examine the explosives, looking for clues pointing me to their origin. If Jung had been there, she could have run a full analysis. Lucky for me, the explosives were clearly identifiable from their shape and labeling alone. These were Cineon sticks, used in chamber blasting. Nobody had access to those outside of the mining industry. I stepped back, satisfied for a moment. Then the rest of reality came crashing down on me. What would Zora's boss do when he heard that I was here? What were they planning on doing with more? And fuck, what about the guard? I hadn't seen much through the window in the attic, but it had looked like one of Zora's guys had fired at him. My heart started racing while I quietly went back down the stairs.
Maybe I'll be back here. But all right, let's call it good. Thanks for watching another episode of Lacuna. We're starting to wrap things up, I think. Hopefully, have a good one.